Katie Thurston reveals devastating cancer diagnosis. Katie Thurston of The Bachelorette has just revealed a devastating cancer diagnosis to her fans. Katie went to her Instagram today to share what is going on with her at this time. Katie Thurston reveals cancer diagnosis. Katie Thurston shared on Instagram today that she has breast cancer. She revealed that things are not going as planned for her, and she was working on moving to NYC with her fiancé Jeff. Instead, she is now figuring out where to live in LA as she sees doctors for breast cancer. Here is part of what Katie shared with fans. Yesterday, I saw all the couples post their Valentine's Day celebrations. I felt envious, if I'm being honest. Jeff took me to Hawaii, and after, we were going to travel the world before planting roots together in NYC finally. But instead, my day was spent coordinating a place to live as I have to go back to LA for more testing and treatment. I used my morning to figure out insurance for NYC and laws on pre-existing conditions. I scheduled appointments for another biopsy, fertility, mental health, surgery, as well as meeting with my team to discuss the overall treatment plan, which will include chemo. She went on to explain that she found out the news about 2 weeks ago. Her fiancé Jeff has been by her side and helping her through it all. Fans send their well wishes. The fans are speaking out on her post and wishing Katie the best, along with telling her stories of how people have survived this cancer. Katie is standing strong during this time, and of course, the fans' wishes are going to help her make it through. Here is what some of them had to say. I had stage 2B triple positive breast cancer at 28. I'm now 40 with a 2.5-year-old and a 5-month-old. You will beat this, Katie. I want to like this for the vulnerability, but I don't want to like this. You will beat it. Stay strong, girly twirly. I'm so sorry you are going through this. Sending you all the hugs and good prognosis wishes, and I'm so glad you have a loving and supportive partner during this time. Thank you for being willing to share for everyone else out there too. Our thoughts and prayers are with Katie Thurston at this time. Mandy Robinson has been a freelance writer for 10 years now. Her passion is writing reality television. Mandy loves being able to work at home and make a living by writing about crazy reality television scandals. Katie Thurston reveals devastating cancer diagnosis. A journey of strength, hope, and resilience. Katie Thurston had always been known for her boldness, her infectious humor, and her ability to navigate life's highs and lows with remarkable grace. From her journey on The Bachelor to taking the reins as the Bachelorette, she became a household name for her unfiltered honesty and unwavering confidence. But nothing could have prepared her, or her fans, for the life-altering news she was about to share. A shocking discovery. For Katie, life had been moving at an exhilarating pace. Between hosting events, working on passion projects, and embracing new opportunities, she had little time to think about the minor discomforts she occasionally felt. It started as fatigue, something she attributed to her busy schedule. Then came the persistent pain, subtle at first but gradually becoming impossible to ignore. At first, she brushed it off. I was tired, sure. I was stressed, definitely. But I figured, who isn't? She later confessed. It wasn't until a routine checkup led to further testing that she realized something was seriously wrong. A lump. A series of tests followed. Biopsies, blood work, then the words that changed everything. You have cancer. I sat there, staring at my doctor, waiting for them to say, just kidding, Katie later recalled. Because this doesn't happen to people like me, right? I'm young, I'm healthy, I take care of myself. But cancer doesn't discriminate. Breaking the news. Katie had spent her career being open with her audience, but this was different. The weight of her diagnosis pressed heavily on her, and she knew she needed time to process it before sharing it with the world. She told her family first, then her closest friends. Each conversation was more difficult than the last. Finally, after weeks of grappling with the reality of her situation, She sat down in front of her phone, took a deep breath, and pressed record. Hey guys, so I have some news, and it's not the kind of news I ever thought I'd be sharing. The video was raw and unfiltered, just like Katie. She spoke through tears, explaining her diagnosis, her fears, and her determination to fight. Within minutes of posting, messages flooded in from fans, friends, and even fellow Bachelornation alums. The outpouring of love was overwhelming.
Cancer treatment
Navigating
is grueling.
Physically, mentally, emotionally. For Katie, it meant endless doctor's appointments, rounds of chemotherapy, and moments where she barely recognized herself in the mirror. The once vibrant woman who lit up screens now faced days where even getting out of bed felt like an impossible feat. Some days, I felt like I was losing myself, she admitted in a later interview. Like cancer was stripping away everything that made me me. But if there was one thing Katie refused to lose, it was her spirit. Even in the darkest moments, she found reasons to smile. Whether it was cracking jokes with the nurses, documenting the highs and lows on social media, or reminding herself that she had survived so much before, she remained a beacon of resilience. Her fans, in turn, rallied around her. They sent care packages, shared their own stories, and reminded her daily that she was not alone in this fight. Finding strength in vulnerability. One of the hardest parts of Katie's journey was embracing vulnerability. She had spent so much of her public life being the strong, independent woman that letting people see her in pain felt foreign. But she quickly learned that vulnerability wasn't weakness, it was strength. Through every setback, every tough day, and every moment of doubt, she continued to share her story. And in doing so, she inspired countless others facing similar battles. When you're diagnosed with cancer, it's easy to feel like you're suddenly alone in a different world, she wrote in one of her Instagram updates. But the truth is, there's an entire community of fighters out there. And if my story can help even one person feel a little less alone, then sharing it is worth it. A future filled with hope. As the months went by, Katie's treatment continued. Some days were better than others. Some news was promising, other updates heartbreaking. But one thing never wavered, her determination to keep fighting. And fight she did. After grueling months of treatment, Katie finally received the news she had been hoping for: remission. The battle wasn't over, but it was a victory worth celebrating. In true Katie fashion, she marked the milestone with a heartfelt post: "I beat cancer, and if you're out there fighting, so can you." Her journey was far from easy, but through it all, she remained the same fierce, unbreakable woman the world had come to love. And if there's one thing she's proven, it's that even in the darkest of times, hope and resilience will always shine through.